Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Railey, head of CDR sourcing for the Americas at Carbonfuture. I'm going to talk a little bit about independent DMRV for DAC projects. First, what is meant by independent DMRV? That means that it's data collection and tracking of your carbon removal activities done by a third party, not done in-house and not done by any kind of carbon crediting standard that you're certifying through. This maximizes trust by minimizing conflicts of interest if the same party's playing multiple roles in the carbon accounting system. It maximizes flexibility, which I'll talk about more a little bit later. And it allows DAC projects like you to focus on your core strengths, which would be optimizing the physical processes to remove carbon from the air rather than worrying about all the data management issues necessary for certification schemes. So Carbonfuture's MRV goes beyond just the data tracking. We also provide support services to help through a certification process if you're looking to issue carbon credits for what you're doing or just provide rigorous carbon accounting for end users of your CO2 to put into their LCAs or EPDs. We also can support in due diligence. We ask the questions that CDR buyers are going to ask you at an early enough stage that you can course correct if necessary. If you're saying, hey, this is what we're planning to do, and we say, that's going to raise some flags with this buyer and this buyer, who are the major buyers, you might not want to go that route, right? We can work with you to adjust and be ready for that sales process. And it also helps when you're going through that sales process and buyers are coming to you asking all the same questions, maybe in a slightly different form. We already have the answers to those questions and we can kind of filter them out so that you're only answering the deep technical questions that haven't already been addressed. And we provide marketing and sales support for carbon credits, including providing data visualizations of the carbon removal activity that can be helpful so buyers know what they're purchasing. It's not just a randomly generated number that represents carbon. They can actually see the carbon removal journey. Specifically for DAC, that means tracking the carbon from when it was first removed from the atmosphere, all the way to its end-use location, which might be in a Class 6 well, it could be ex situ mineralization, or it could be an end use of the CO2. And if there's any transport in between. And again, this gives buyers a real sense of, okay, when I pay X dollars for this carbon credit, this ton of CO2 removed, it was this ton of CO2 removed, and here's the journey that it went, and here's where it is today. We also support multiple ways of ingesting data, including manual entry, connection through API, and integration with IoT sensors. And we do all this in a way that allows you to keep your systems and processes designed to optimize your operations, even if you decide to pursue certification through a different standard. Isometric might be popular today. Maybe there's another standard that comes along tomorrow that all the buyers are talking about, and you say, hey, we need to shift. With a platform like Carbonfuture, we can keep up with the evolving needs so that you don't have to keep changing for that. And this also would be particularly helpful. Our system's designed for some of the compliance markets that are starting to percolate through the system so that when those compliance markets become implemented, our solution will already make your credits eligible for those markets. And as an example, we're doing this today with CDR suppliers like Octavia Carbon. This is a direct air capture company in Kenya. And for them, we integrated with their IoT sensors. We're ingesting the data, tracking their DAC removal activities. We facilitated a multi-year offtake agreement that included their credits in a portfolio of credits from other projects using other technologies so that we could bring the price point down, the average price point of the portfolio for the buyer, and help facilitate a sale. So we want buyers to be exposed to the higher quality, more innovative DAC credits, but we also know that most buyers don't have a budget to do all of their CDR procurement just for DAC technology. So by wrapping it into a portfolio, we find a lot more success on that front. And so with that, I'll hand it over to Nick. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, feel free to grab me after the break. Thanks.